Welcome to the Hollywood Scholar. I'm Jed Morgan, and a brief clarification must be made about the upcoming Witcher Netflix spinoff, The Rats. A lot of people are finally reporting on this spinoff, saying it's just entering production now. That is not the case whatsoever. The access and mainstream media sites are finally talking about it, and they believe that means that it's suddenly in production. However, it has been in production for some time now in South Africa at Cape Town. Filming is well underway at this point, but a recent picture from behind the scenes with the cast was released, and that's when access media and mainstream media sites jumped on it. But the Rat spinoff has been in production for some time now and is likely looking at a summer of next year release date, as long as the success of Witcher Season 3 is high enough to warrant its continued lifespan. If nothing else, I believe The Rats is going to come out. Even if Season 3 does horribly, they're too invested in The Rats to stop it now, and The Rats does tie in quite heavily to Season 4, so they might hope that even if Season 3 does bad, Rats might be enough to get people reinvested into Season 4. We'll see how it works out. I have zero hope for the Rats whatsoever because it's an unnecessary story that doesn't need to be told, because all these characters, their important stories are told in the books. They're told in the books, and upcoming Season 4 is going to include them as much as is included in the books. That is the hope, at least, but Netflix is not being accurate whatsoever, so maybe none of this is accurate whatsoever. My comments aren't accurate whatsoever. It all depends on how much the Witcher series at Netflix is going to follow the books, because their story is told in the Baptism of Fire book, and we don't need a prequel about them. Ciri has been confirmed not to be in it, which means it doesn't take place in between Time of Contempt and Baptism of Fire, which means it's a prequel. We don't need a prequel about the Rats. They're just Robin Hood-esque teenagers who are incredibly violent. There, you've got their whole story. You got their whole backstory. You just need to know Ciri joins them and they have adventures together. That's all you need. We don't need a prequel, but it's coming nonetheless, and it's well underway filming. And we have this article here from Redanian Intelligence, which does include the clarification here. They're well into production down there in South Africa, filming in some really beautiful locations. So I do hope that helps the visual aesthetic of the series, because so far, The Witcher and Witcher Blood Origin have not been all that visually stimulating in the locations. They're very drab, they're uninteresting, they're sets and poorly made sets at that, maybe even some volume stuff. They are not filming on real locations, but the fact that this crew is going down to South Africa to film in some beautiful places, I hope they actually use the scenery and don't just rely on a cheap studio that happens to be in Cape Town. I hope they actually use South Africa's scenery. We don't know what's going to be the case with that, but the Redanian Intelligence does make the clarification here that they've been in production for quite some time, and it's just suddenly getting into the general zeitgeist because this picture was released. This picture came out, so CBR is like, oh wow, this Rat spinoff exists. We had no idea it exists. We've known about this spinoff for well over 6 months at this point. I've made several videos on it. I've talked about the storyline. I've talked about the production schedule, the pre-production schedule. I've talked about all that in previous videos. But now that sites are finally reporting on it, people are acting like this is the first we've heard about it. No, so there is some due clarifications to be made there. And with this news came an additional piece of information that apparently they're tasking a Shadow and Bone and the Sandman director to work on this series. Now, I've seen the pilot of Shadow and Bone. I thought it was fine. I'm not much into steampunk, so I wasn't interested to continue the series, but I know other people in this chat, including Mustang, who really enjoyed this series, so maybe this is a good selling point for him to get reinvested in the Witcher franchise. I doubt it, because I've gotten him into the books and he loves the books, and the Netflix series is not going to adapt the books at any point whatsoever. Season 3, as much as Lore and History says it's going to be the most accurate season so far, I don't believe that. In fact, I believe the opposite is true. Even that little teaser trailer proves that they're not exactly adapting the books so far. But those are the clarifications that need to be made. Rats is well underway. It's not a new thing. It's not a new phenomenon that the access media and mainstream media sites are making it out to be. They're just finally recognizing its existence. It's been around for a while. Not a whole lot of new updates that are worth noting within the production itself. And a prediction of next summer release date is still very much the case, depending on the success of Witcher Season 3, which is coming in just over a month and a half, 2 months now, and I can't wait to see how horrifically bad it does and how much the fan base and general normies unite against this garbage that Netflix has been giving to them for years now. And hopefully they reject it in support of Henry Cavill, if nothing else, if not for a fight of actual quality, not a fight for adaptation integrity. do it for Henry Cavill because he deserves so much better, and he was great in the role. As much as I wasn't sold on him at first when that screen test came out, I fell in love with his portrayal of Geralt, and he deserved so much more. And Witcher Netflix needs to burn because of how they treated him. And I can't wait to see the backlash to Witcher Season 3, because the backlash is already beginning with the first trailer. So how big will the backlash be once the season actually airs? But anyway, that's all I have for today. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Anon.
Hey, yo, are you feeling what I'm doing up in here? Oh, I know you are. Do you miss all the good, compelling stories that we used to get back in Hollywood that they ain't putting down no more? Oh, I know you missing it. So check out my book series, Odyssey of a Phoenix, a mythological epic about philosophy, morality, and modern-day mental illness issues, baby. Book 1, Down in Flames. Book 2, Apocalypse Then. These are currently on sale. What are you waiting for? Get your hands on them. And we got Book 3, Kill the Dark, is coming down the pipeline. Just wait for all the good stuff that's dropping. You ain't gonna be disappointed, fam.